I would like to acknowledge that I am on First Nations land. I'm on Kaurna land. I pay respects to the First Nations people on this land. On this land, I get to live, work, play, dream, swim. First Nations people have lived on this land for many, many years, and now we live on the land together. I pay my respects to all First Nations people and elders. I would also like to acknowledge lived experience. I seek to express gratitude for the valuable contributions, dedication, and collective expertise provided by individuals of diverse sexualities, genders, sex, and the lived experience of people with a disability in informing and guiding my work here at My Friend in Sex Ed. Hey, I'm Niamh. I'm an AuDHDer, sexologist, and developmental educator, and I'm here to talk to you about something that lots of people experience but maybe shy away from talking about, and that's how ADHD meds can mess with your libido, your arousal, or just how connected you feel during sex. First things first, you're not imagining it. ADHD doesn't just live in your brain. It shows up in your body, in your relationships, and that includes your sex life too. For many of us, medication is life-changing. It really helps us to focus, to follow through, and stop feeling like we're constantly swimming upstream. But because these meds work by shifting brain chemistry, especially dopamine and norepinephrine, that's one of those words that gets me every time, that can also change how we experience desire and how we experience pleasure. The interesting part is that it's different for everyone. So it's not going to be the same for you, your friend, your partner. Some people find they're more focused and present during sex. Others notice that their libido maybe drops off, or they struggle with arousal, orgasm, or staying connected in the moment. Sometimes these changes are temporary, or they can be linked to dose, to timing, or just how your body adjusts over time. So what's actually going on? ADHD meds change how dopamine works. And dopamine's a big player in the motivation and reward part of our human experiences, including sexual desire. Stimulants can also affect blood flow and the nervous system, which influences arousal and performance. And hormones, especially for people who menstruate or are going through menopause, these can interact with those meds too. The reality is that the effects look really different for different people. People with penises might notice performance issues. People with vulvas might feel less desire or find orgasms harder to reach. And for young people or folks in hormonal transitions, that experience can shift again. So how do you know if your meds are involved? Pay attention to the patterns. Does your libido or pleasure change when you started or adjusted your dose? Are you feeling less connected or maybe a bit frustrated or confused about intimacy? If so, it's worth bringing up. You don't have to just put up with it. When I talk about this with the folks that I work with, I always come back to the bigger picture, which is what we call the biopsychosocial lens. Basically, your sex life is never just one thing, so not just about biology, it's maybe also how you are feeling emotionally, what's going on in your relationships, how supported you feel in those relationships, and whether there's space in your life for pleasure. So if your meds are affecting one area, it makes sense that that ripple shows up elsewhere. The good news is that you've got options. You can talk to your prescriber, your GP, your psychiatrist, and I promise this is not an awkward thing for you to do. It's a legitimate part of your health. Sometimes adjusting the dose or the timing helps, and if not, there are other meds that can maybe help to balance things out. It's worth asking. And for the physical side, think about using lube, doing pelvic floor work, exploring relaxation or body-based somatic strategies. And yes, sometimes medications that can support arousal too. If the emotional side has gotten all tangled up, that's where someone like a sex therapist comes in. Someone you can work with who understands pleasure, who understands shame and neurodivergent brains, that can help you to rebuild connection and confidence. The bottom line is that ADHD meds can affect sex. Sometimes in ways that suck. Sometimes in ways that surprise you. But with awareness, curiosity, honest conversations, it's absolutely possible to manage ADHD and have a fulfilling, connected sex life. You deserve focus, you deserve pleasure, and you deserve support while you figure out what works for your brain and your body. Yeah.